So I had 2 startups before that both went really well. And the third one I'm building right now is called Coach Nova.ai. It's very much built around augmenting coaches. So it dovetails really nicely into the conversation that we had this morning. And today I would love to kind of share a little bit on AI literacy and how you can kind of grow your practice as a coach, bringing AI ethically and smartly and safely into your practice. So a little bit about me.
And let's hear it.
I guess we don't have a clicker, so we have to go back and forth.
Yeah, you're going to see this. So how we're going to run this session today, actually, when the previous panel was ending, it ended at a very good question of like, what can you do for me as a leader? And I think our focus is very much on us coaches when we're discussing about AI, like can it replace us, can it not replace us, how can that look like? So we will still start with that perspective, but we will start then moving into the other layers of like what's happening for our coaching, but also like when organizations are buying into anything digital and specifically AI, what are some of the questions they have, what's the perspective on the other side of the table. I don't know if you have any HR people who's making decisions for that kind of buying here. Yes, so you have to, so you can also make your contributions there if you like. So, yeah, the next one. So we want to first see who's in the room. Shall I?
Yeah, so instead of show of hands, we're actually thinking, let's stand up if you're one of the numbers. So we would love to kind of get a little bit of feedback on how you're using AI. So I'd love to start with people on the right-hand side. You're very worried or negative about AI coming into it. Can you please stand up? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yes.
So you would be number 3, I think it's skepticals. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's a great answer. Yes, that's also possible, obviously. And we see with many people that we ask a similar question, like they start somewhere, but then actually quite quickly they can move into another bracket. So yeah, it's not a judgment call.
Yeah. So those who are skeptical
yes.
about the AI. Is that up?
Yeah. About 10 people, I think, 8, 10 people, thank you. Curious and experimenting. Oh wow, yeah, as expected.
Yeah,
Many, the majority. Wonderful. And then using AI regularly and oh wow. Okay. That's also a lot. That's amazing. What we're going to do today is, we're going to do a couple of exercises that start relatively simple. So for people that stood up when we have 1 and 2, it might come across like, oh yeah, I've been there. But bear with us, we kind of go a little bit more towards agentic AI as well at the end. Let's go to the next one. Also one where you can stand up, just to get the blood flowing. What is your favorite? Who's using ChatGPT? Let's do it that way. Okay, a lot. ChatGPT and Codex. Okay. Oh, nice. Claude. All right. Claude Code. Okay. Claude Code in a terminal. Okay. Here we go. That's all manners of kind of complexity within these tools. Gemini. Okay. I see a lot of people, for instance, the gentleman in the back, raising his hand every single time I ask a question. You basically use them all, right? Okay, fantastic. And who is not using anything yet? I think probably
choosing not to use anything.
Yeah, good question. Okay. So I would say.
And is there any other that you're using, maybe that we're not aware of?
Mistral, maybe?
Not a bullet, huh? Yeah. Okay.
their website and pushing that download. It works on Macs and Windows as well. But once it's in the terminal, you basically got your own private AI. And you can actually download any of the models to run locally on your computer if you want to. And because it's not connected to the internet, and your own website, but privacy and security and ethics. But I love having something independent of the main models.
Yes.
I can run locally on my own machine and all around it.
Amazing. Can you repeat the name again, Joss?
Olana.
Olana, yes. Okay. In case anybody else wants to experiment with that. I'm supposed to maybe name a specific one, just a recognition that so much of it is built in. So whether it's Canva or Microsoft Office, Copilot, or all these built-in tools that maybe we're not as aware of, but they're happening. Very good point.
Very good point. And I was about to say, like, these are all, of course, the large language models we're talking about, but there are tons of other AI that we're talking about. Yeah, you're using it already. I used to say in the past, like, if you're using Netflix, you're already using the AI.
Exactly, that's my point. I started to set up some applications like Nextrat or Coral that use other LLMs in the background. So they use my data, anonymize, reaching out. So there are such applications as well.
Yes, thank you. Great, thank you all. Oh, more gentlemen in the back, Osman, that wants to. Perplexity.
Yes.
Thanks. So I've been using now probably for about 5-6 years Jasper AI.
Yeah.
And I started early, and so I built a good knowledge base and my brand in there. So it's really hard to jump away from it and start it over again. So, but I've been really happy with it. It's Jasper AI.
Amazing, thank you all. So let's start a little bit about what makes you you, a little bit of quiet provocation. So you show up as a coach in sessions primarily today, and they are kind of, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I interviewed over 70 coaches in 11 countries before I started to work on Coach Nova. And what I got back is kind of the modality that they use mostly is those sessions in packages. So either it's a retainer for 6 to 12 months, that happens a lot with like higher tier executive coaching, and then kind of the layer below, which is a very large group. It's mostly any packages between 3 months to 6 months, anywhere between 8 to 10 sessions. So your time is kind of confined to showing up in those, let's say, 8 hours. But everything that you work for, you've got through accreditations, you've got through tons of experience, your embodiment, has to show up in those sessions, whereas all the work that happens in between the sessions is basically on the coachee to kind of do on their own. And this is where there's a tremendous opportunity to bring AI as an augmentation into your practice, to also show up between the sessions, and also beyond the session. So this is not to AI to replace you, it's actually to augment AI. So I kind of wanted to start with that premise because you have thousands of years thousands of hours, sorry. That really perfected your craft. But it's kind of a waste that it's kind of limited to your calendar availability. So what if you can find a space which could be a knowledge garden that you can open up to your coachees when you are not in the room, but actually, metaphorically, you still are in the room. And that's kind of where we can work towards together when you really think about AI augmentation. And I think there's probably already a few people here in the room that are using AI in an advanced way that might actually have that knowledge garden. For a show of hands, does anybody already created a knowledge garden around their practice? Okay, few people. Okay, wonderful. So this is kind of what we just talked about. It's kind of that coaching is just limited for a time frame, and then you kind of are leaving the coachee again to figure it out on their own. Like I've had multiple coaches throughout the last 10 years, And I really always enjoyed the process, but right now, for instance, I'm an entrepreneur self-funding. So I was thinking about, okay, let's get a coach again. So I talked to a few people, and it's like a package, 4,000 or 5,000 euros. And I'm, well, I'm bootstrapping, I'm self-funding. Yeah, I see the value, but still a lot of money. And this is where also there's an opportunity to start thinking about, hey, maybe we can go towards a hybrid, which I'm actually now doing with a coach, that says maybe we can do 50% of that amount, but then also we do 40 or 50% of the physical time in sessions, but I have access to that knowledge garden. I can kind of interface with that between the sessions and also beyond the sessions. There's a messaging functionality between the sessions. And that's a new kind of modality that allows you then to also open up a whole new cohort of people that could afford a 1,500 or 2,000 euro package rather than the 4,000 to 5,000 package. And this is also an answer to 74% of all the knowledge workers are currently, well, it's probably already more now today, using AI, generic AI, it's level 1 AI, AI is Google, for their coaching. So that means that there's such a need to have guidance, to have coaching, but using a chatbot without a knowledge garden is not coaching. It's support, mental support, and it's going to help you definitely, but it's not the same modality as you deliver. So this is just something also to think about. What can you do when you augment yourself to actually tap into that 74% of people that would love to work with you, but maybe it's not accessible to them because their employer is not sponsoring, or they don't have the financial means in order to self-fund. So what becomes possible when the knowledge and the methodology that you developed throughout your entire coaching career is no longer confined to this 1 hour in your room. That's the